Well, again, welcome today. It's a little more muggy, and it's a preparation day. So I want to be prepared for Sabbath, to go in with a calm attitude and a worshipful state of mind. And this song is somewhat in regards to that. I'll tell you a little bit of the lyrics because I can't sing and play, and I can't sing anyway. But this song is Nothing's Worrying Me. Makes me perspire.
Thank you so much, honey. Thank you so much. What time is it? I can't see a thing. 10 minutes. Oh, 4:08. Great. Well, I promised you all some hot dogs. My version of a hot dog. Now, I can tell you when I first tried this recipe, I was in North Carolina at my friend's house. And I told her, I said, you know, I've heard people making hot dogs out of carrots. She said, are you serious? And I said, yes. She said, are they good? And I said, I don't know, I've never had one. She said, what are you going to do? And I said, we're going to make one. So I went out and I started looking and all these different ingredients, and I thought, well, I don't know. And finally, I went out to, I think it was Hormel, one of these companies that make hot dogs. And then I went to another, Oscar Mayer, and I just started going to the hot dog companies to see what their ingredients were, because I thought, I want to see what ingredient is consistent for a hot dog. And I found it. And I had noticed it in many. Now, they might have found out by now, but it was ground coriander. Coriander. And when I smelled it, I thought, yeah, I remember hot dogs. You know, the bad thing about it, I went to Chisholm Trail Academy for a couple years, and I went to Bass. And one of the things they did on a school trip is they took us to one of those factories like Oscar Mayer, when they made bologna and they made hot dogs. Huge mistake for the world. For me, I thought, oh, that's it. I'd never touch one again in my life. I mean, the things they put in there from that animal, just downright disgusting. They do not believe in throwing body parts away. So it was real sickening to me. And I never could get that sight and smell that on a hot dog. So anytime after that, when I smelled a hot dog, it would do that reflex. So as Barbara and I are working on this recipe, and she said, how do you know if it's going to be good? And I said, I don't know. But I think one of the biggest mistakes they're making when they do their carrot dogs is they cook the dog without the marinade. And I said, why not cook the carrot in the marinade and then soak in the marinade in the refrigerator? She said, well, let's try it. So we did. And I'll never forget when we took the lid off of that skillet. And that came up. I said, that's it. That's it. I guarantee it is. So at a church potluck, I took those hot dogs and I didn't let anybody see me bring them in. Well, one of the young kids at the church, you know, the kids know who cook. They're going to follow you in, look at your food, and they kind of peruse around. They know. And this young boy come afterwards and he said, Miss Prettyman? I said, yes. He said, I seen you carrying those hot dogs in here. I said, you did? He said, yep. And I ate one. I said, good. He said, actually, I ate two. He said, because they were all gone. He said, but I thought you was a vegan. I said, well, I'm whole plant-based because I do use some honey, and honey comes from the beef. And he said, well, why did you bring us meat? I said, I didn't bring you any meat, honey. I wouldn't do that. He said, well, I ate those hot dogs. I said, okay, that's okay. And I just kept letting him talk there, and he said, what was in your hot dog? And I said, a carrot. He said, no, the hot dog I ate. That was on that plate. I said, it was a carrot. The look on his face, he didn't say much of anything. He just kind of looked at me and he went, sure was good. Off he went. He thought he had me. He thought he had me. So I knew this recipe was a good one. And what I do, now I'm doubling this because I've got these here and I'll probably just take them home, put them in the refrigerator, and we'll have them Sunday. My husband's probably sitting back there saying, good, we get something. But I usually do a half cup of Bragg's. You can use a coconut aminos if you can't have the Bragg's. If you're on the diet of Dr. Chow's, you can't do any of the fermented or, where is she? Right here. You can't do them. I already checked with Natalie first thing this morning. You want a tablespoon of liquid smoke. You also want a tablespoon, all right here, It's easier for me whenever I have a spoon. A tablespoon of garlic powder. Now remember, I doubled this. So I'm going to double it now. This is garlic. Tablespoon. When I told you a half cup of Bragg's, a tablespoon of smoke, and a tablespoon of garlic. Yes, yes, yeah, that's your recipe. I'm doing twice as much. And the same for onion, granulated or powder, it doesn't matter. Just do whatever you want there. Now, because of lack of having my mustard powder, you do a tablespoon of mustard. So I'm just going to squirt tablespoon, tablespoon. Yeah, I do it with either. Doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. And then the coriander. Yummy. And are you guys smelling this yet? Tablespoon. Table. Coriander. And then you want double the water. So since you want a cup of water to your half cup of Bragg's, which I've got a whole cup in here, that's why you're seeing me putting 2. Remember, I'm doing 2 of them. And then you will let it get warm. I'm going to make sure I've got it all stirred in together. I wish somebody come up with something that flies would just never come around food. No. So I made sure it's all in together good, combined. And you wait till this comes up to a good heat, like a little simmer, and you put your carrots in there. Now, make sure you peel your carrots. I always use my peelings, but for this, I do not. And the reason is I want them to absorb more. So I do peel them. These were pretty good fat. Now, that's about the size of a bun. So I will cut them, peel them. I wasn't so fancy with these, but I've actually, taken my peeler and made them look like a hot dog and put little things in the end. You really don't have to do all that. But then I will put them inside of the pan. You can see the steam coming off of it. And you must bring this to that rolling boil for 8 minutes. 8 minutes. Not 6, not 7, 8 minutes. No more, no less. And then I immediately take the carrots out and let them set. They are still just a little bit, not quite done in the middle. That's what you want. If they get too soft, they're just going to fall apart. So I do them for 8 minutes. Normally I will have a lid on them. So my lid will be on my carrots. I put a timer on, time them for 8 minutes. I'm not going to do that today because it's not going to do any good, and I need to use this to make your carrots with. So I will let this cool down, and then I will take a baggie with the marinade. You can see it's actually thickened up quite a bit. And I will store those in my refrigerator in this sauce in the baggie, because as it's sitting, what is it doing? It's marinating. I want that carrot to taste so much like a hot dog, it's just unbelievable. And I noticed that a lot of the recipes, they didn't do that. I thought, well, that's crazy. Why didn't they just force that flavor into the dog when they were cooking it instead of adding it later and cooking it? Didn't make sense to me. So I get really good flavor out of doing it this way. Now, when you're ready to cook and I only make enough if somebody's coming over for company or there's a special event or I'm taking them to potluck, that determines how many I'm going to make. So they never spoil, and I do not freeze them. I make enough for them to last up to 10 days because with the Bragg's in here, it acts as kind of a preservative anyway, so I'm not worried about it. Plus, I've already cooked the carrots some. But they don't last anyway. They don't last. I'll put 6 of them out for my husband and I, and he'll eat 3 or 4 of them before they ever see the bun. and it depends. Now, you are getting white buns today. Sorry. I could not find any good buns around here. Period. So unfortunately, if you don't want to eat them, you don't have to. Yes?
Your timing that you said 8 minutes, no more, no less. Do you ever adjust it for altitude?
I never have. I did the same thing here, and I did them for 8 minutes. I've done them 8 minutes in Texas. I've done them 8 minutes in Ohio, 8 minutes at 3 ABN at Southern Illinois and California. So I don't think so.
If you're doing a demo in Denver, 5,000 feet or something.
I don't know. I'll know when I get to South Dakota. So, but I have not. It seems like that 8's a golden number for me. Now, if they're really little, tiny, skinny, you notice these were little fat. So if you've got little, tiny, skinny carrots, 8 minutes might be too much, but these were pretty good sized carrots. And I always try to go to Sam's or Costco. Do you see that? If y'all want to, you're more than welcome to come up here and smell this. If you can't smell it there. If I was my dad, if I had a restaurant, my dad used to put onions on his grill to draw people into his restaurants. That's a secret they do. They put something out there like onions to draw people in. But does that smell like a hot dog to you? It does, doesn't it? Huh? Yeah. Oh, at least 10 days. 10 days. Yeah, keep them right in that marinade. Oh, 24 hours. I soak them overnight. I made these yesterday. So they've been setting since yesterday. The longer they sit in there, the better they taste. So I don't think there's any golden number of how long. I have done them within 4 to 5 hours, but I still didn't get that really good flavor I got when I waited and did it overnight. So I always say overnight. You can smell it? Does it smell like a hot dog? Yeah. Yeah, it does. Now, because y'all are just sampling, I had to cut these in half so they look little bitty. And I'm just going to, what else can I talk about? Oh, when I made this recipe, I wanted to make a different type of slaw. Yes. So this is just a regular cabbage-like slaw mix. You can buy it pre-mixed. You can cut it up, do it yourself. You don't have to put the red cabbage in. You can leave it out. I like it just for a little bit of color, but I've done it both ways, so it doesn't really matter. Now, you are definitely going to need some type of a vegan mayonnaise. You get this kind because I didn't have the ingredients here to make my own. I like mine better, but you're going to get what I have. Actually, this is not bad. It does have some oil in it, but that's not a bad. Has anybody tried this yet? Hellman's. Hellman's, you can get it at Walmart for $4.77. Hellman's vegan. They call it a dressing and spread. They have to be very careful. They can't call it a mayonnaise or a salad dressing, so they have to kind of change that up a little bit. So this one is really, really rich. I know I usually, if I buy any, I buy Follow Your Heart, and I like the yellow one because it's half the fat, and I like the flax that they use in it, but I need a smaller one. I do. It's in one of those books. Huh? In my book? No, I think it's in one of the 2 new ones I have. But it's also out on 3abn.org. But yes, I do make one with almond flour that has no oil in it. But I thought it was in that one. Look at it. See if it's called Marvelous Mayonnaise or something like that. Okay, it might be in the other book. and I'm out of it. I don't even like to tell people about that one because it's out. However, I'm going to do a digital site or a website, and I'm going to have all my recipes out there where you can download them digitally. Because when I did Simply Yummy Whole and Simply Yummy Creations, I paid over $20-some a piece for those books, and I sell them to you for $25. And now they want to charge me over $30 to do the book since everything has gone up. So I can't even afford to do it right now. So I've got some mayonnaise. Now there's a lot of slaw in here, probably about 2 pounds of slaw. One of the things I'm going to use more than I want, and you're probably thinking, that's not a lot of mayonnaise for coleslaw, right? Normally that's not. I don't want a lot of mayonnaise in this. But I do want some lemon. Oh yeah. Love me some lemon. Now, you guys, I designed this recipe after what is known as the West Virginia slaw dog. Did you know that? Did you know you had one here? West Virginia people love slaw on their dogs. I heard that. My carrots are just going to town over here. Now I want to stir this mayonnaise in really good. I don't want a lot. I don't want it to be weepy. Coleslaw, but I am going to have to put just a little bit more. Okay, I'd say I have close to a cup, maybe 2/3 totally for these, for about 2 pounds. I didn't get that one done up real well. Okay. Now this is a hard one. It's got a lot of ingredients, but I know you'll get it. This is celery seed. I do too. I got about 4 slaw recipes. I need to stop. There's only so long you can make things and it tastes like slaw. Okay. I'm going to add at least 2 tablespoons of celery seed in here. Huh? You can smell the hot dogs now? Mm-hmm. Oh, at least a half cup. Yes. I like lots and lots of lemon juice. I use lemon, and you know, guys, all this COVID and everything going around, drink lots of fresh lemon juice, eat garlic, mash it up, let it set. It's good for the immune system. I'm going to add just a little bit of salt. This is Himalayan, and the other one is real. It's made by Edmund Real Salt. Okay, guys, that's it for that coleslaw. See it? And you're going to taste it on your hot dog, or on the side, whichever you want. I'm only going to cover that because the flies are going to eat it. Now, if you have a griddle at home, use a griddle. If you don't have a griddle at home, use a pan. I didn't even own a Teflon type pan. This was one of my mother's I found. So I only have stainless, but I needed a pan. I just want to heat these and put a little charring on them. So I'm going to get those going. What do you think I'm going to do with this leftover juice? If I were at home, what would I do? Freeze it. Freeze it. I'm going to freeze it. You can. I have reused it before. Okay, let's do this one. Some of these ends were small. They work just fine. And I can tell I cooked them right because when I pick them up with these tongs, they're not breaking into pieces. All right, we're going to get this one on max and let that cook. All right, now I'm going to make you what I call Rindle's favorite coleslaw. And I don't see my cutting board. Where did I do with my cutting board, honey? Is it out in the car or? Okay. I need a cutting board because, all right. Now, in this slaw, I added pieces of kale, and I have raisins in here. I did not have my craisins. I buy some from Azure. Does anybody, it's okay, I'll work it out. Does anybody ever order from Azure? Okay. They have a cranberry that is fruit juice sweetened with just apple juice concentrate. It doesn't have the sugar added to it. So if I use a craisin, that's one I like to use. I can use pumpkin seeds in here. I can also use my sunflower seeds. So you can use this slaw recipe here. You don't have to put a mayonnaise-based dressing on if you don't want to. I do, because he likes it that way. I add a little bit of onion. Do you know when you mix a little onion and something sweet together, it really gives it a good flavor. So on this one, I am going to make a dressing, and I'm going to chop up, if we can find something to chop this up with, I'm going to use an apple. Have you ever used fresh apple in your coleslaw? Oh, it's delicious, isn't it? This is ambrosia. Just try it. Wait till you try it. Yes, they are. Yes, they are sweet. Now, I'm going to put about 6 packets of stevia because I'm going to make a whole lot of this because I've got 2 containers. And if you'll notice, I did not put any oil. I just want this to brown a little bit to get warm on each side. So, I did put peppermint out. Your West Virginia flies don't care. Yes, and these are stevia, 100% stevia. I do not buy the ones that have, do you know you got to watch it, it'll say 100% organic stevia, and the first ingredient is dextrose. That's sugar. Now, the stevia was 100%, but that's not what they're talking about when they say 100%. They're saying the stevia is 100%. However, what did I do with my spoon? However, it also has sugar in it as well. Who among you are like mayonnaise connoisseurs? You are? Do you want to try this and tell me what you think of a vegan mayonnaise that's not altered? Okay. This is a lot richer. This is Hellman's. It's wonderful, isn't it? Very rich, very rich. These are clean. I just need this to put more hot dogs or carrot dogs in. All right. Because I used my whisk in here, I don't want to use my whisk in there because it's going to taste like hot dog. Again, I don't want my slaw to just be dripping in a dressing. I want to highlight my slaw. Now I am going to ask my sweet husband if he will come up here and man these dogs for me. That's his cue, guys. Be careful, if you lose the bag, you're going to have a river.
What is it you want me to do?
Do what I'm doing right here.
Do that? Okay. Now we need to put ice in the dandy pan, probably.
We do that just before we serve it. We're good.
Okay.
If you want to continue doing this and fill that up
All
for
right.
me, if you let that go.
I won't.
Okay. All right. So I am going to take this. I'll use my lid. There was a couple, and you can seal it back and start on the other one. I'm going to put about a half an apple in each bowl. You can use green apple, you can use red apple, you can use delicious, you can use whatever you want. I had ambrosia. That's what's going in it. Huh? I'm chopping it in smaller pieces. I'd hope to get people who get a little bit of bite with it, you know, as to have a big slice in there. Thank you, honey. I'll get it off.
The new ones are at 11 o'clock.
What is new at 11?
This side of the fry pan.
Oh, I'm like, what is he talking about? Is he having hallucinations over there? He's getting too much of the sauce, or? No, you're good. We'll do another batch if we have to. Thank you, though. Have y'all ever watched any of the programs we've done on 3ABN where Rendell and I have done them together? Huh? Yes. It's so fun because my husband is a man of few words, and I'll say something and the look on his face is priceless. And I remember asking him something one time, and he looked at me and he said, "Well, how would I know that? You're the chef." It was so funny. I mean, just his reaction was priceless. Oh.
Pictures to show at some point.
Yeah, I do. I brought some pictures I want to show y'all. Sugar. Dextrose is sugar. Pardon? Dextrose is sugar. Sugar is sugar. It lowers the immune system, so we want to try to stay as far away from sugar as possible. I mean, here at this camp, there's COVID going around. We need to keep our immune system as high as we possibly can. That's the only way we're going to be able to fight these diseases. Do you know that a 4-ounce can, bottle, whatever, of any, like Coke, Dr. Pepper, Pepsi, Sprite, compromises the immune system for 8 hours? 8 hours. 4 ounces, folks. Have you ever been in the store and seen something called a big gulp? And then we wonder why there's so much sickness going around out there. People, they don't know. I mean, I'm not blaming them, but they just really don't know. It tastes good. And what was that? I told you that Ellen White said that our taste buds would overcome our reasoning. It's not good for us. Does sugar taste great? Sure it does. Do we crave it? Most of us do. I know my favorite dessert to eat is an apple sliced up with just a little bit of almond butter on it. I do it all the time. That's my dessert. Or I'll take a fresh date and eat just a little piece of a fresh date. Have you ever had a date and followed it with a couple pecans? Tastes like pecan pie. It really does. It's amazing. Huh? You can. You can do it. You can make a pecan pie with dates and pecans. It's amazing. That's why if I'm really having a sugar craving, I will go ahead and eat the pecan and the date. Yes. The kind of knives I buy are called Victorinox. They're relatively inexpensive in comparison, and they have a Swiss Army blade on them, so the men in here are going to like, yeah, Swiss Army blade. And they are the best in the world. They don't booger up, you know, they don't get the notches in them, so I can just take my knife sharpener and sharpen the knives, and they come back every time. That right, if you put your hand over that's going to cut about halfway into your finger. Yeah, and I have to be careful sometimes when I cut a lot towards my thumb. I end up having to put a Band-Aid or it eventually cuts through my skin. So Victorinox are my favorite knives. I'm sure they are. How many, do you guys have any questions? I'm not looking up so much, sorry. Yes, yes. Bragg's liquid aminos. Or you can use coconut aminos. Half a cup, and then you double the water. So if you do a half cup, and that gets you about 12 dogs, really. So you use 1 cup of water. Mustard, a tablespoon, onion powder, a tablespoon, garlic, a tablespoon, coriander, a tablespoon, and liquid smoke, a tablespoon. Thank you. Go ahead and put them in there, and then put the rest of those in there. The brand of my what? Oh, the only one I will buy is called Sweet Leaf. Sorry, it's upside down. Sweet Leaf is what I buy because it's the only one that doesn't have dextrose that I have found. When my husband and I got married, he and I were talking about things, and if I sent him to the store, I said, now make sure you read the ingredients, and he'd bring stuff home, and he'd say, I'd say, honey, I can't use this. What do you mean you can't use it? It's tomato. And I said, there's wheat in it. No, there isn't. And looked in it. You have to be careful what manufacturers use. And if it's terrible for us, you'll find more of it because they've got to find a way to get it used up. And so, lo and behold, he started reading the ingredients and started chastising me a little bit. And it's amazing what you'll find when you read these labels. So you have to really be on your guard. If you are eating something that is already processed, even just a little bit, read your ingredients.
I got a question.
Yeah, he has a question. Yeah.
How can you put just a little bit of this in the frying pan?
You can. You can put a little bit of that in a fry pan. It's not going to hurt at all. But you don't want much because you want it to char. You want it to look like a hot dog. Yeah, that's fine because that pan's getting sticky. Do you guys, huh? Sure, I was just fixing to say that. You can use a griddle or a grill. I've seen some people have like a panini maker and they put them in there and get that really nice char on the side of them like they had them out on a grill. My son loves to grill out. He loves to invite all his friends to come over and eat. I just want to set this away from the food because it's drawing flies. And I asked him one day, I said, do your friends ever ask you over? He said, no, they like my food. And I said, no, that's called mooching. Anyway, I said, well, I've got something I'd like you to try. Is it okay if I use your grill? But I said, keep a place where you don't put meat or anything there. He said, okay. So I put some aluminum foil out there. He was done with the grill. And I went out and put some of the dogs on there. And I put coleslaw on them. I put mustard and onions and ketchup, whatever they all put on their dogs. And these people were coming over to eat. And so I made this big tray of hot dogs. I knew what he was doing ahead of time. So I made this big tray of hot dogs. And these big contractors are coming over eating. And I kind of slipped my dogs in there too. Before the night was done, my dogs were gone and some of his dogs were there. And I heard him say, hey man, these hot dogs your mom made, those are out of this world. And he said, they're really good. And he said, well, I guarantee you my mom tricked you. He said, because she doesn't eat meat. And they're like, we don't care, they taste good. And then when I told my son what they were and he ate them, he said, Mom, if I wouldn't have known what was in there, your dog didn't taste any different than mine. I said, see, you don't have to go buy that expensive meat anymore. Just buy a $4 bag of carrots. All righty. What I'm going to have you do, husband, is I'm going to have you take these out, and on that tray, I want you to put a cooked carrot inside each one of these little buns. And shortly, I'm going to have y'all try them. It's getting already 4:45. Yes, I want to show y'all some pictures. Can you handle that while I'm doing this? Because we're just going to serve that. So just a dog in each bun. Do them up there. Use this one too. Oh, an example? Sure. Did you get a glove on? They're really easy to open up. Look here. Boom. Okay? And just stand them all the way up on here. Huh? Blow in it, yes, or powder or vegetable oil. Hey, do you guys have my pictures ready? I think they were. Pictures! I have to go back here and look because I don't know what they are. I can't see them up here. Yes, what is that? I don't know. Seriously, I don't know. It looks like a potato. It looks like... That might be eggplant. Yes, that might be eggplant. That's okay. So that's one of my dishes. If you want to turn it, guys, when I'm through talking, just turn it to the next. Okay. I don't even, those are burgers. I don't know where that was at. Honey, you picked the worst pictures. Yes.
Come on, just make the best.
This is the studio at 3ABN. This is where we do our cooking programs. And I'll tell you what, guys, you would not believe, for every recipe we do, we have to make it 3 times. Because you have to have a beauty shot. There's another picture, some of the camera people there. This is the studio at 3ABN. And it looks like, I can't see in the back, that might be Jason Bradley. He has co-hosted with me before. You can go on to another picture. Oh, that's some of the dishes at 3ABN. That was the taco explosion, I think, if I remember right. That was all Mexican fare, street corn salad, everything plant-based, everything whole plant-based. You're seeing it again. You can go on, and you can see the camera crew. They can't wait. They have to wait till Sveta comes in and takes all the pictures before they can eat. This is a carob pie that I designed that's made with coconut, and it tastes like almond joy. And the whipped cream on the top is vegan. It's been refrigerated, and this was served at ASI last year, a very, very popular dessert, I must say. This was ASI last year in Florida. As you can see, this is some of the fresh fruit we have for breakfast. So you can move that one forward. Again, pictures. My husband's the guy who goes around and takes all the pictures. ASI, this is at the convention there at the, what is the name? Shingle Creek is where it's at in Orlando. These are different sauces, as you can see, that we line up, and they tag everything for us. So when you come through, you know what you're eating. There's more pictures, ASI, I can tell. Oh, this is myself and Chef George. And this is a chef who'd never cooked plant-based before. And my job is to create recipes. I email them over there. They try the recipes. We fly in and I do taste testing. And he asked me for additional recipes because he's getting a lot of people asking for plant-based. So I thought that was amazing that God did that. And this is ASI again. And we can move forward. ASI, you can move forward. Honey, you must like ASI. There is Chef Mark Anthony and myself in our studio. This is where we do our table talk, our information. This is Three Angels Broadcasting Network. This is where we did a program for Pastor Loma Kane. Now just stay on this one for a minute. Pastor Loma Kane has been working with a senator of Illinois and some very high up dignitaries and doing Bible study with them every week. And none of them are Seventh-day Adventists yet. And then he did a commemorative for 9/11. We flew in a guy from New York who was there at Ground Zero when it all happened, and he sang a beautiful song. He's Seventh-day Adventist. So this is the program that we put on for them for that 9/11 commemorative. You can move forward. And this is the gym. This is Natalie, of course, one of my helpers. We're there getting things ready for when they come through. We had over 300 guests for this one. You can move again. As you can see, there are more guests. So we set the gym up. We're all over the place. Somebody has a spot, whether it be a dessert, a salad, an entree, vegetables, drink. I hope he got the drink table. It was beautiful that we set up through there. This is ASI. This is how many people we were serving at ASI. This is a video. These are the tables. There I'm sitting with Barb Schumacher. She's Denzel, a secretary. Yes. This was a wedding, I do believe I did. It looks like the wedding I did for Von Shelton's. These are all fruit drinks with nothing but fruit juices that are blended together with fresh fruit slices. Oh, it's so delicious. There you can. That juice that you see?
Yeah, that right there.
Oh, that juice has lemon juice, it has grape juice, it has apple juice in it. We puree the fruits as well and add to it with slices. It is amazing. These are little hors d'oeuvres that we made for the senators, and at this particular program, Dr. Ben Carson came in, so we served he and his wife both with the Senator of Illinois and some of the other dignitaries there. As you can see here, these were, I have to look and see, what is that? Meatless meatballs with a sweet and sour sauce. Is that what that is? That's what it looks like. All of these are my recipes that I create. This is a dessert table, one of them. I think we had 4. And none of them are the same, and they're all whole food, whole plant-based, all of them. Hang on a minute. Yes? All of the above. I might see, I'm very visual, so if I see something and I get the name of it, then I create my own. So that's how I mostly do it. Keep going. You can move forward. There you go. There's more desserts. Lots of desserts. More desserts. Now here's some salads. One of my favorites everybody loves is the street corn salad. Instead of street corn, this is a tofu sweet chicken sauce that goes with it, or sweet and sour sauce that goes with it. Line after line of entrees. That's at 3ABN. That's at 3ABN. That is at 3ABN. Tables after tables. This is in their sanctuary. There's Jason Bradley and his new sister-in-law, and her husband's right behind him. That was a wedding I did for them. That was some of the food for the wedding, because I remember that I did that flower arrangement. I do that too. I just try to stick to cooking. I don't remember what those desserts were. They were just good. Yes, as you can see, I was hoping I call them my California angels when we went out to California. You can keep turning. Yes, these are more salads. You can keep turning. I think this is when we had a lot of board members and people in, like Ted Wilson, other people like that. I made that arrangement for the wedding. That is a love I love to do. This is my California angel. This was in California. We served 1,200 people on one day, and this gentleman and his wife walked in and said, "Hey, we're here to just help you. We love for you to show up at camp meetings and help us." It's amazing. It's a fun job, but it's hard work. This is also California. This is Mark and I in our kitchen, our studio, where we do a lot of our filming for Loma Linda, Good News TV. This was at Dr. Nedley's oldest son's wedding. This is an old classmate of mine. So picture of my honey and I. When we were in Georgia. My husband and I have traveled all over this United States together. I can't even tell you how many. We've put every bit of 200 plus 100,000 miles on a vehicle, not counting air that we've traveled. Is that the last one? That was it. You're so sneaky, honey. You put that one in. That was down in Georgia. The wind was blowing terribly. That was a beautiful picture somebody took of he and I, and we love it. I just wanted to kind of give you guys an idea of what we do and how often we do it. I mean, I have spent months and months on the road. My husband has been so gracious to spend those months and months with me. He's never complained. And if somebody calls and says, "Hey, could you come here and do a seminar?" And I look at him, because I usually have the speakerphone on, and he says, "Let's go." I'm like, "Are you sure?" Home base right now is Ohio, but I don't know, some of you know, we took a call for a job at the Black Hills Lifestyle and Education Center, so in 12 days we'll be moving to South Dakota. South Dakota. Beautiful place. God has opened up this opportunity for us to minister there. I've been hired as their general manager, and I'm helping Natalie, who is going to be our lifestyle director, and Chef Mark Anthony is the president. So we're doing everything we can to have this lifestyle center to reach out to the world, to let them see what we offer them. Even if somebody just wants to come in and spend a couple nights or two, we've opened up some of the places like an Airbnb. We have ministered to date 8 pastors from out of the Adventist denomination. They are Baptist, Lutheran, Methodist, all denominations, and they come in there and they get to see the property, and we send them home with literature. We send them home with a great controversy or ministry of healing, whatever we can find. We put them in the rooms and we say, please take one, and they're always taking them. But we're ministering to these people in a way we haven't been able to do for years. So it has been such a blessing to us to now be part of that. So, any questions, comments? I love it because I have 2 people in this room. You are one, and where is she? Another one who is doing whole food plant-based, and one is doing a program that we're offering at the Black Hills Lifestyle and Education Center. So if any of you want to come, please contact me. If you want to come and go through the course for a massage therapy, we offer that too. Let us know. We've got a session going on that starts July 10th. I'm not sure yet when we're starting beyond July 10th for August, September, October, November. We probably won't. December, we won't in January, but then we'll start back up again in the cold months of February, but we do have fireplaces. Thank you so much, folks, for inviting us to come here.